I want to just do amazing things. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm driven by just like constantly wanting to do better and wanting to just constantly increase my impact. Starting once I tapped into social media, really realizing how much you can also influence people and help people's businesses. And I feel like I've learned so much about advertising and I've experienced so much in so many different business models. It's like I'm constantly learning a lot. So it's like I can be of value in so many different ways. So at this point, I'm just trying to just keep the needle moving. The first thing I like to tell people is like the digital ecosystem kind of changed just, or really like when you think about it, you got to think about it in terms of like everything that you do in an online store, online landing page, digital product services, regardless what you're selling, there's data points that you can track, right? So I used to tell like, when I first started out, I was doing lead generation for brick and mortar clients. And I used to tell them like, when somebody walks into your store, you can't, if they don't, give you an email, if they don't buy something, you don't know anything about that individual. But, with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and the whole digital ecosystem allows us to do is when somebody visits your page, you track them.
How do you track them?
It's called a pixel.
What's
right?
a pixel?
So a pixel pretty much is like all the platforms have them. They got the Facebook pixel, and that pretty much allows to simplify it. It's like a little GPS tracker that's on your site. Just to,
for the individual.
For the individual, right?
Gotcha.
So if it's on whatever it is you're selling, if you got that pixel on there, it's going to be tracking the individual's actions, on your site. So for example, did somebody add the cart and they didn't buy it, and then if you see that ad on your social media, like same thing for Amazon. We can go search Amazon looking for a particular product. Maybe we didn't buy it, we got sidetracked. The next thing you know, we see it on our timeline. That's not a coincidence. And honestly, that's what got me in the game, because 2016, I was like trying to really figure out like, how is this happening? I'm sure you heard of Ty Lopez. They're here in my garage. I kept seeing that ad, right? And I'm like, I'm asking the homies like, hey, are y'all seeing this? And I got in this funnel, then I'm seeing more stuff on Facebook about it. I'm asking the homies like, are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? Nobody's seeing it. But mind you, none of my homies was interested in what I was interested in. So then I started to think, we literally having a little get together at the crib. I'm like, bro, show me your Facebook timeline. Like, cause this is crazy. I don't understand how I'm seeing all this stuff about how to make money online all of a sudden. I'm like, and I'm sitting there like, shit, is the law of attraction? What the hell is going on? So after then pretty much, he was like, he was into horses and like pretty much he was into horses and stuff. And on his timeline, he had all kinds of different stuff. And that's why I was like, I don't know how this is happening, but I got to figure it out. And that's what I bought, some of Ty Lopez's entry-level stuff that I can afford at the time. And then that pretty much ignited the journey, that got me really tapping into it.
Gotcha. So that's the first course you bought to then empower you now that you do ads.
But that was like the first one. But then I started to just get whatever I could get my hands on, just really wanting to learn it. And of course I was doing my thing on YouTube, but at the time I just did not understand like what was going on. I understood that you can run ads on social media, but I didn't know that you can do it based off of somebody's interest.
Fair enough.
So that's super powerful, and then that's what made me like, all right, I got to figure this out. One of my clients had a transmission shop. I had did all of their design work, from flyers around the city, their logo, whenever they needed new garments for their team, all of that stuff. I said, look, I got something that I think is I pretty much pitched them. I said, I can't say exactly how I'm going to do it, but I've been doing good business with you because I had this person as a client for a year. Like, I've been doing good business with you for a year. I want to run you guys' ads for a month for free.
Gotcha.
So
that was basically your guinea pig.
That was my guinea pig. That was my guinea pig. And I was like...
So you gave value though.
Yep.
And that's how you got opportunity.
And then literally that same client, that same business, they're still my company's client to this day. That was in 2016. So what happened was they started to, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we can, we can work with it. Let's do it. So the month went by, it was like, we starting to notice a little something. The phone's ringing more. Then I'm like, let's do it again. Still no charge. Second month, like they had their business just started to pick up. And mind you, the situation of this company, pretty much it was a father-son duo. But the father was a little bit older and he was slowly handing it over to his son. And I had met his son via social media. So his dad was a little hesitant, like, I don't know, but it sounded like we got to start doing some new stuff because these signs that we got around the city ain't really working, because they was doing billboard marketing still. So, you know, he pretty much trusted his son. Me and his son is real cool to this day, and he turned into a paying client. But it was just from, I wanted to take what I was learning, because I understood how it made sense. I'm just like, hey, if I'm searching how to make money online, different opportunities online, how to advertise, and then this is following me all around the internet, I'm like, what if people who are typing in like they need a transmission repair or they need a free inspection on their transmission, and I can target that in a mile radius of your city. It was actually in Athens, Georgia. So we started off the campaign targeting a 25-mile radius of there, and their business just kept growing. And then since then, I call them up. They love Facebook ads. So nurturing would be like, let's say you had an ad, right? Educating on real estate. And let's say you got a training and you're educating to come to my training. Well, let's say they also follow you. So if they initially, their first point of contact was through that ad, and they're like, oh, this guy knows his stuff. But then they come to your page, you ain't talking about nothing. If they didn't buy initially from that ad, which most of the time that's called a top of funnel ad, that first point of contact, and then the retargeting ads, you know, which we'll probably get into that, can nurture them through the process. But like that educator, that content creator wants to make sure they're still doing their own thing too, because some people, especially in the high ticket range, in the high ticket space, it can take a little time to convert somebody. But I tell business owners is like, if you don't have something working already with your offer, chillax. Don't go into ads yet, unless you really got the capital and you're ready to just, spend a bunch of money. Because if you validate an offer that works, and when I say offer, I mean like, let's say your t-shirts, you know your best selling t-shirt, or like a bundle deal that works good, and that's what you've been selling organically. So I tell people to validate what they got going on organically, and then after that, the ads are supposed to amplify what you got going on. Now, if you got the capital and you don't care spending a little bit of money, that's the shortcut that people who do have capital can take. Because they're like, I ain't finna play around with organically. I'm finna just spend a few $1,000s to go ahead and figure out what's gonna work, for my offer. Because keep in mind, and why I keep highlighting on offer is because you gotta test multiple pieces of video content, photo content to really find what's gonna be that ad that works for your business, your brand, your product, your service. So there's no reason to also have to be testing an offer. That's why I tell people to validate, like, for example, for course creator, like come up to me and like, I'm thinking about selling my course at this price, don't really know. I'm gonna say, unless you're really ready to spend to test all those different offers, I recommend you figure out what the market tells you first, organically, and then let's come on over here to this ad space so we can amplify what you got going on.
How can somebody go develop a good offer?
So if somebody asks that, I let them know that basically, I'm sure we know social media is a lot of noise going on. And people who really take actions, like the consumer that takes actions off of social media, it has to be an irresistible offer. You have to treat it like, treat it like when you walk around the mall and the mall got some sign slapped in the window, like, hold on, what that sale say? Let me go ahead and check it out. But then once they come in, you better have your stuff together so that way it's not somebody that just check you out and bounce off your site.
So what you just said basically was your product may not be selling because your offer is not good enough. You're asking me where you should price it. Earlier, you said you were testing different price points to see what's working. You could be wasting a lot of money doing that.
Exactly.
But if you have an irresistible offer, then you can validate your price because you're giving them the result. You're telling them what the result is in the offer. Is that, am I tracking?
100%. And what I was going to add to that is we use a tool called AdSpy. That is a paid tool. It's like $150 a month, or you can go to just Google Facebook ads library. Whenever somebody, is in a situation where they don't have their offer put together, I tell them, my company, we do this, my agency, we do this regardless. You need to find 3 competitors. Find 3 competitors that are doing whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's a physical product, service, or course, and see what they're doing, study them. And then the ad space, it's millions, it's millions, and actually it's over 2 billion monthly active users on Facebook every month. Active users. So like sometimes people like, well, I don't want to really model what they got going on. I'm like, why? It's working. The market is big. They're probably targeting the same stuff we targeting, but when it comes back to the like, no trust factor, what you got going on, what your business and brand has going on is not going to be the same thing that creates the like, no trust factor for them. So there's room in the market for you too.
That's like saying, I don't want a millionaire's blueprint. I don't want to copy a $1 million blueprint.
That's exactly what it's like saying. So we're real big on just like modeling success. That's how we're able to take on clients that like we may have not even worked in the particular industry for that client. We're transparent. We'll let them know, but we'll say, we're going to go do our market research, and then we just going to model off of that. And then also that's where you can get your offers from. And then that's where you can also find out where you can add more value than your competition. So then you set yourself a little further ahead from coming in, new.
A lot of people in your field get a bad name nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shiesty business, a lot of, people taking advantage of others that are
green.
New.
Right.
So like, how do you get past that?
I feel like one thing that I've kind of implemented in the culture of my company is like, we gotta lead with transparency, and we gotta make sure we educate on the front end so people actually understand it. Like, I know, I don't really knock anybody in the industry. What they do is what they do, but I know some agencies or people who run ads, like they won't even allow the client to go into their ad account if they want. Like, I want you to see everything. I used to have my periods where I'm like, well, dang, if they see exactly what I'm doing and they see the strategy.
I just was going to go there. A lot of people fear that you empower me enough to where I could do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you fear that?
I don't fear it anymore because I realize, like, if I'm helping you grow your business and you're not really gung-ho about, I want to be the best advertiser ever, you just know you need it for your business. Well, even if we've had this happen where clients like, all right, I see what's going on, I can take this over. Then they continue to grow, or maybe they mess it up, and then they come back like, all right, I forgot that you got to maintenance your ad account 7 days a week. I ain't looked at my ad account in a month, and I've been losing money. So I just kind of like, it is what it is. If you're really serious about growing your business, you better let somebody else wear that hat, because you're going to be trying to wear too many hats, and then your ads aren't going to be performing like they really could be. So whenever I change my mind to that, like, they can see everything. We can tell them exactly what we're doing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, as far as like compensation, a lot of people feel a certain way when you give a flat rate and then you ask for a return on net profits.
Right, profit share.
So like, a lot of people would be like, man, I'm not in business to profit share. So why is your structure like that?
Yeah, it is.
Why is your business structured like that?
So what I eventually figured out, like, I had early on, I didn't have a structure like that, but then it wasn't until I realized that, like, when I started to hire, like, the structure makes sense. I can understand where people come from, but then at the same time I can't, because most agencies only take profit share off of the extra revenue that they generated. So with that being said, it takes a lot of time to manage money, right? So if people who charge a base pay, they may put like a base amount in terms of like how much money they actually manage on your account. But mind you, if we still doing that, I'm spending $1, I'm bringing out 3 or 4 or 5, however much, you want to spend the most amount of money. So you want to put most business owners that we have as clients, or all of the clients that we have, they understand that, like, okay, so they're incentivized to continue to make me more money, opposed to they're set it and forget it. Like, my angle, sometimes I'll talk about, we're not a set it and forget it agencies. They're set it and forget it agencies that may, like, I got these campaigns profitable spending $100 a day, but those campaigns could have been even more profitable spending $1,000 a day, but you only paid me a base fee, so I ain't managing $1,000 a day.
Got you.
So that's kind of how it go.
So what I heard was this. There are agencies that do take the flat rate, but when you pay the flat rate, they're going to spend so much, they're going to set it, they're going to turn on the faucet, and they're going to leave it on level 1. But when it comes to you, you're going to turn on the faucet. You are profit sharing with your company. What percent is that?
We do 10%.
Got you, 10%. Profit sharing 10%. But since you benefit, you're going to keep an eye on it, a closer eye on it, because you're motivated to watch it, because now you're part of the business success.
Yep.
So since the business success relies, your commission relies on the business success, you're going to make sure that you make money there.
Exactly.
And so that is basically insurance for the business owner.
100%. And then like, it forced me to do it when I really got to hiring, because I'm like, I'm getting, you know, I got very, very talented team. We wouldn't be doing anything we're doing without my team. But like, I started to realize like, they can't only be making this percentage from the base pay and we spending all this money. That's going, like, I can't fault them for, we turned on the faucet, it's running. But then like, we see the potential. So it's like, that's the worst thing you can do. And I feel like I wanted to make sure I didn't create my company like they do it like in corporate America. Cubicle give you a brief and say, just do this. Like, their eyes get big when they see that 4 ROAS, that 5 ROAS. They're like, oh, we finna scale this. But then just to think that you can only spend this much, or to think that you're not even incentivized to scale it. So, I would recommend get you a free funnel. Get you something that you're gonna give somebody for free, collect their information. And that's another thing that you can run at the top of funnel, you know, to bring people into your world. But then that comes back to like, make sure you nurture them. So then that way, when they come into your world, they stay. And then you can do that on autopilot. Like, I actually made a mistake by not getting emails, just because in the heat, like when the pandemic hit, it was like everybody needed an agency, because like online sales is moving. So I made a mistake by turning off my freebie, because I'm like, oh, I'm focused on we scaling, we get more clients. But then a couple of clients let me know, like, you know, that's the deal. You work with a lot of business owners. Me as an agency owner, I get a lot of game from clients. They let me know, like, man, you need to get building that email list, because if they take your page, if you lose your page or you get hacked, whatever the case may be, everything gone. So now I got a freebie, and I'm building an email list and a text list, and I just constantly add value to them. I nurture them.
Got you. So you telling me right now, E, before your relaunch, because I'm going to relaunch,
Okay.
I need you to figure out an organic freebie that you can leverage through your regular social media. So if I gave people like an ebook for free, they got to just opt in, email and text, they get the book for free. That'll be the easiest way for me to get those emails to then get to you to launch my product.
Right.
We're going to get that done.
Yep.
That's a gem right there.